question.
Hi! Hey everyone.
That in there.
This is, don't do that. Will and Aisa here again. And a few of you left some questions and comments asking about our college experience, and
we're gonna make a video telling you about our college experience and giving some advice on how we think we survived college.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, also, if you guys are pre-med, then I suggest you check out my blog. I wrote this entire series called How to Get Into Med School. And yeah, so if you're pre-med, there's a lot of advice there, a lot of help, and you can always comment or email me on my blog to ask me questions. I'll leave the link in the description.
It's very good. It's written very well. She's a great writer. Makes you feel like you're there with her.
Thank you. So, here's our advice about studying. When it comes to studying, I say that it's really good to be proactive and not procrastinate. And I know that's easier said than done. For me, at least. It's easier said than done, but you have to keep your goal in mind. So, I have a few tips about studying. I suggest that you study 2 hours before your class and then 2 hours after your class. Or the time can change depending on how hard your class is.
In any class that you're given the lecture slides before, review them before class.
Mm-hmm.
So because the first time going through, you won't be focusing on the material as much as you will be just seeing the slide for the first time, in a sense.
Yeah.
And so by you becoming aware of what's to be said, you can now pay attention to what the teacher is saying as opposed to what the slide is saying.
Another thing that I say is really helpful is podcast. A lot of schools podcast lectures, so they film it while the teacher's lecturing, and then you can go home and rewatch it. For me, whenever I had 2-hour classes, I wouldn't even go to class because I would watch the podcast. So if you're in class, you can't pause the teacher, but if you're watching a podcast, you can pause and rewind and take notes, and I think it's a lot more helpful than going to lecture. But some people think lecture is more helpful because, you know, in lecture you can ask questions and stuff, so it's more beneficial that way. So if you want to do both, that's a good idea too.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
You can go to lecture, and then if you have a certain spot that you didn't understand, you can come back home and watch the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, take advantage of the study resources you have at your school. So we have so many places to study here on campus, or you can you can study in your room or whatever, but a lot of people like to go to the libraries or, I don't know,
There's a coffee shop. There's also different parts of the coffee shop. There's the coffee shop where it's busy and it's music and it's more social setting, and then there's upstairs more serious setting, quietness. Of course, the libraries.
Just understand where you study the best.
Right.
Study smarter, not harder. I wish I knew this before my freshman year, because when I was a freshman, I would set aside time to study for a specific class. So later what I started doing is I took very colorful notes when I was taking classes, and I think that helped a lot.
Absolutely.
So I might show you guys an example. We shall see. Doing that whole studying before and after class thing, and I ended up not having to study this like as many hours as I used to, and I ended up doing better in the class. Also, doing your homework and problem sets and everything, that is way more helpful actually than reading the book, I think.
Yeah.
So if your teacher assigns homework and you don't have to do it, don't be like in high school like, oh, we don't have to do it, I'm not gonna do it. Do your homework, because that'll help you on the test.
Absolutely.
Study groups. Okay, when it comes to study groups, what I like to do is I like to teach, and I was a tutor and everything, so I really like to teach, and it helps me learn. I would get my group together and then get out like a lesson plan and teach them, which actually helped me a lot. Even when, like, if Will wasn't taking one of my classes, like biochem, he let me teach him, and that helped me do really well. So.
Oh yeah, she used to teach me all her, not all of them, of course, but she would actually like teach me her class material.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Straight up a lesson.
The study groups are awesome because you're not gonna be full go motivation all the time, of course, right? Because you just won't be. And it's great to have a study group because it's unlikely that you'll both be unmotivated at the same time, and so you guys can help each other when you need it or when your friend needs it, vice versa.
The next category, your major or your future. A lot of people come to college when they're 17 or 18 or 19 and they have no idea what they want to do with their future.
Right.
In fact, our biggest major here is undecided. So it's okay. You don't have to know what you're doing, but I'd say set a goal and go towards it. And you might change your mind. You probably will change your mind. A lot of people do. I know people who come in as pre-med and and come out as theater or something, and that's fine. But work towards something. You can't just be like, oh, I'm undecided, so I'm not really going to work towards anything. If you don't know what career you want, you have to be proactive and look into the career. Go and find mentors and see what it takes to become whatever the career is. Yeah. Take advantage of your career center if you have a good one.
Upperclassmen, seniors and juniors.
Yes.
Valuable information.
Mm-hmm.
Typically better than the mentors, to be honest, I think.
Honestly, yeah. Our next one is about extracurriculars and finding balance.
Oh man, let me tell you about extracurriculars. I am in love with extracurriculars, I'm not gonna lie to you, because I started here, I was on the track and field team, my 3 discus, funnest time of my life. It was fantastic. Come my 3rd year, I had to be more realistic in terms of school and my future and stuff, and time management. Mm-hmm. And so I got off the track and field team. I had a lot more time, and it all started with Aisa. She was a great catalyst. She was a great reason to why I am part of my extracurricular, because she got me volunteering, she got me shadowing, she got me to research, and then it started building on top of that. I was able to get some projects going on with some professors and stuff, and then clubs, and then some community stuff where it's kind of lone wolf in it, but it's still something fun that you should do. So I'm telling you, extracurriculars make college, right? Because extracurriculars not only maintain your sanity and your happiness at the time being, but also it lays a very strong foundation for the future, because you build your resume, you do good things for yourself, for the community probably. You get to show your peers and those faculty members and those above you that you're a hard worker and that you want to do something with yourself. Extracurriculars allow you to find different avenues of passion.
A lot of people don't just have one thing that they like. So we're both pre-med and we both really want to be doctors, but we don't just think medicine, science all the time. I really like artistic stuff and poetry and stuff, so I was dancing in college, I was involved in this spoken word poetry group, I was volunteering, shadowing, and all the medical extracurriculars, as well as the, fun extracurriculars that I really liked, that was really good, helped me find balance. So you might feel stressed or something, overwhelmed with school. By the way, be prepared to be overwhelmed, because that is inevitable. That's going to happen. So if you feel overwhelmed, you need to find balance. You can't just be you'll go crazy if you don't do anything else except for school. I also suggest studying abroad. I think that was one of the best times of my life, studying abroad. It was so fun, and you get to meet different people and learn about different cultures, and it's an amazing experience. I also say seek professional help when needed. There is this stigma against going to psychologists or counselors or whatever, but most likely your school has a good counseling system, and people get stressed, people get anxiety. There's a high percentage of depression a higher percentage of depression in college students than in the general public.
Imagine it as being a friend who just knows how to deal or give you advice on how to maintain your emotions and your mentality better. There's nothing more than that.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends who they're not suffering from mental illness at all, but they think it's really helpful to go to a counselor just to vent. Stay healthy and eat right.
What you put in is what you're going to get out, right? Because if you only eat fat, literally fat, you're going to get fat and you're going to get unhealthy, your skin's going to look bad and whatnot. And so by eating healthy, your body feels good, your mind feels good, you're probably more energetic. And we're in this culture where we're being told by every sign to eat, to consume, to eat and to consume. And that's fine if you're the business owner making all that profit. But realistically, as you as a body, as you as your own personal entity, you don't need to have all that food. Your wallet would be better, your mind would be better. You don't allow this consumerism focused culture to take you away from what you need to do for yourself. What is I'm saying? But when you do eat, which of course you need to eat, of course you just eat. But when you do, just try to be rational and try to be smart about it. Should I choose this burger, or should I choose this
salmon with asparagus or something?
Yeah.
Something healthy. I talked to a nutritionist, and she said it's best to eat multiple mini meals throughout the day, healthy meals, maybe a cup of fruit or something, instead of just not eating for a long time, because when you don't eat for a long time, then you get really hungry and you just stuff yourself with food.
Oh yeah, because then you're like, oh, your mind's like, oh, I'm so hungry, but like your stomach is still, it has a more or less stable size.
Yeah.
So that happens to me all the time. Eating healthy will have other benefits to like self-confidence, because by eating healthy, your physique is probably going to get better with your eating habits, right? Mm-hmm. And so like you'll carry yourself in a better way. You'll be more confident to approach people, to make more friends.
Be active. Really active. Yeah.
Exercise is great.
He likes lifting and playing soccer. I actually hate lifting with a passion.
And soccer.
And I hate like just running. I can't go to the gym and just be on the treadmill. So to be active, I danced or did Muay Thai, which is like fun for me because it's like I was having fun and also doing cardio. So if you don't like running or lifting, just find something that you do like to do that is active.
Working out buddies can be very helpful too.
Oh yeah, working out buddies. Oh, have fun. Having fun is really important in college. Like whatever you do to have fun, whether it's partying or going on adventures or going hiking or whatever you do for fun, make sure you do it. Don't not have fun because you're studying all the time, but make sure it's balanced. So don't party when you have an 8 a.m. final the next day. You know?
Or 8 a.m. class.
Or that, yeah. So, but make sure you do have fun. Make sure you explore your city.
Unless you find studying to be extremely fun.
Oh yeah. If you have a lot of
great.
fun studying, then
do your thing.
That's
more power to you.
Yeah. But if you don't, then
mix it up.
Find things that, there are always things. Relationships and friendships and everything.
Yay.
We already talked about study groups. It's really good to build a relationship with your classmates, to have study groups, because we know how important that is. You also, want to maintain a good relationship with your roommate and with other people you interact with. For me, personally, I had like different groups of friends. So I had like my party friends, the people who I could always go out with on the weekends or at night or whatever. And I had my study friends, the people who were in my class who we would have like study sessions, study groups. There are like different categories of friends. And then I had like my best friends, my closest friends, who I can do anything with. I can party with them, I can study with them, we can stay up all night watching TV, we can go on adventures, whatever. Dealing with breakups is a hard thing, not just relationship breakups, but also friendship breakups. Those are really hard, but you learn from that. If you messed up, then you learn what you did that messed up the friendship, and you don't do it again. If the other person messed up, then you know what to look out for in your next friendship or your next relationship, because you'll be seeing the same characteristics in somebody else that you saw in the person that screwed you over before, and you know to stay away from them.
Relationships with professors. Super important, because not only are they awesome, they're human beings, because lots of times we see a teacher, they're just like a talking thing about information, but they have actually lives, and they're great people just to hang out with and talk to, and they're great mentors. They can tell you what they did, how they did it, and where you can go with your future, with your career. And a very important thing for the next step, if you want to go to grad school, med school, dentistry school, or anything, or a letter of recs. You build a relationship with them, they get to know who you are, how you are as a person, your passions, your drives, and then they can formulate that, and they can form that into a letter of rec, like showing how great of a person you are and how great of a candidate you are. Because no one can write you a good letter of rec if they don't know you.
Organization and time management.
Time management. As we said before, know how to study.
And when you get your syllabus, put everything in your calendar right away, because you don't want to be like, oh my gosh, we have a midterm. That happened to my friend. Yeah, so she studied for the wrong class because she knew she had a midterm on a specific day. So she studied for a different class, and then she came into our class where we had the midterm, and she was like, oh my gosh.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. So put in your midterms, your finals, when your paper's going to be due, and make sure you set reminders, because you don't want to forget and be like, oh, this was due, and now you have a bad grade. So stay organized. Also keep track of your money, keep a budget. Time management is good for your extracurriculars and your study schedule, so you can see where everything fits and get enough sleep still. Like when you're studying, you can schedule in breaks, because if you don't schedule in breaks, or at least if I don't schedule in breaks, I'll just be taking breaks all the time. Like I'll read a page and be like, woo, break time, and then take like a 10-minute break, even though I only studied for 5 minutes, So I have to schedule in my breaks so that I can spend more time studying. Our last piece of advice is to be confident in yourself and to believe in yourself.
Very important.
It might sound really cliche, but it worked for me. Like, I was getting like B's or B pluses, and I'd just be like, it's impossible for me to get an A.
Which is very good, by the way. B's and B pluses are great, but
yeah, but I was still like, it's impossible for me to get an A when I was in high school. This is so easy or whatever, and I just kind of accepted defeat. And then I did this program, and they told us about like, you'll behave the way you think you are, or the way you think you should behave. So if you tell yourself you're an A student, then you'll become an A student. So just be like, I'm an A student. And that's what I told myself, and I became an A student. Because I was like, I'm not a B student. I'm not the kind of kid.
I'm validated. This is a true thing.
I'm not the type of person to get B's. Like, I don't get B's. So then my grades went up from there, and it's all because of like confidence in myself. So
super important.
Be confident. Be your own man.
No, be
your own person. And make sure you surround yourself with people who are confident in you as well, because you don't want people bringing you down.
Nope.
So we're gonna end the video here because it's going quite kind of long.
But thank you for listening, and we really hope it's been very helpful. If you have any more questions or comments, make sure to ask us, because we'll be sure to answer them in the future.
Yeah, and also if you're pre-med, don't forget to check out my blog.
Thank you so much for watching. Remember, like, subscribe, and comment, and we'll be sure to answer them in the future.
Yeah.
Alright guys, see you around.